Flop Friday returns with a vengeance. The USA men are in action in Japan, and the NCAA championship will be crowned this Sunday, all next on The Counterattack. Hi everyone, Greg Mescall here. Thanks for joining us on The Counterattack. We start things off first with our men's senior national team, and believe it or not, they're playing some games after months and weeks and days of training and swimming long yards and competing against each other. They're actually playing someone else. It's all happening this week in Japan, the FINA Men's Intercontinental Tournament. Here's your roster. Coach Dejan Dovicic taking 14 athletes to compete. Also live webcasting information available at usawaterpolo.org. Team USA off to a good start. They beat Australia 8-6. Couple of goals for Tony Azevedo and Josh Samuels. McQuinn Barron, Merrill Moses splitting time in cage. Team USA will be competing through the end of Sunday, and this will act as a qualifier for the upcoming FINA World League Super Final. Best of luck to our USA men. Before they headed off to Japan, Team USA welcomed in the popular website Refinery29 for a live Facebook interview from training last week. Brett Bonani, Josh Samuels, and Luca Cupido all took part, and these are a fun way to learn things you never knew about some of your favorite Team USA athletes. For example, Josh Samuels used to be afraid of roller coasters. I personally had no idea. Here's some more fun facts.
What is your guilty pleasure when it comes to
two. I like Mexican food, goods, which I will probably go eat immediately after this, and In-N-Out Burger.
Did you say kids?
I don't have kids.
No, I said, what's your guilty pleasure? I thought
I said
children. I'm like,
baked goods.
No.
Like I love
baked goods. Okay.
Donuts and cake.
Oh, donuts are also a guilty pleasure. Speaking of which, I will be bringing a dozen of donuts to practice tomorrow for everyone, just so you know.
Aw, how nice.
You may recall months back we showed you some photos of the CBS show The Doctors visiting men's senior national team practice. Well, last week the episode ran and good times were had by all. Dr. Andrew Orden found his way into the pool and played a little water polo with John Mann, Tony Azevedo, and Merrill Moses.
Hey! Let me get in here. Should we get wet? Show me a few tricks?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Here I come. The big serve, the big serve. Oh, this is good. Oh, USA. That is what we call representing, buddy. You know, I had promised the booth that I had retired the Speedos, and after seeing that, officially, the Speedos are retired. One of the best things that I've done being on the show for 8 years, meeting this group of guys that really a passion for what they do, so dedicated, ultimate athletes representing their country.
And if you thought Team USA was going Hollywood, well, listen to this. It's our first celebrity scoop, and it's not ours. It belongs to Us Weekly, but it involves a water polo player. Team USA captain Tony Azevedo telling Us Weekly exclusively he and wife Sarah are ready to welcome child number 2 this October, just after the completion of the Olympic Games. Congrats to both of them and their entire family. We wish them all the best. Well, this past Sunday was Mother's Day, and if this is the first you're hearing about it, you screwed up big time. But the women's national team did not make the same mistake. They had a nice video to cheer on their moms and let them know how much they're appreciated. Now, if you forgot to call your mom and you totally spaced on Mother's Day, just press pause. Give her a call right now. Let her know how important she is to you. We'll understand. We're not going anywhere. But if you're still here with us, we transition to more women's water polo action. Soccer great Julie Foudy paid a visit to women's national team practice last week for a story she's working on with ESPN. And while she admires the hard work Team USA puts in and day out, she brought a lighter side and some donuts. As you can see through our Twitter from Sammy Hill, good times had by all. We weren't kidding. Julie brought donuts, both flotational donuts and donuts you can actually eat, and they finished things off with a donut cheers. This is probably the way we should all end our water polo practices. We're looking forward to that story coming out soon on ESPN and ESPNW. And from there, now, when can you see these teams in action? You've seen them eat donuts and talk about their favorite concerts. Come check them out later this month. Both teams taking on Australia. They'll start things off in Claremont at Pomona Pitzer on Friday, May 20th. USA men versus Australia. Then the big doubleheader at USC on May 22nd. Then we go to Fresno State May 24th. USA women taking on Australia and close things out at Beckman High School in Irvine on May 26th. Great action all the way around. Tickets available for all of these games at usawaterpolo.org. Don't miss your chance to see Team USA on the road to Rio. Before we finish up our national team talk, take a look at the new artwork behind us right here. That's the Be Victorious posters coming out to support the USA Water Polo teams at the Olympic Games. Don't forget to use the hashtag Be Victorious with the capitalized Rio. Do you get it? Rio, home of the Olympic Games. And you can help cheer on Team USA as they prepare for the event of the year, the Olympic Games. Now, speaking of Be Victorious, we got 10 teams that want to be victorious in the NCAA Championship. Play-in games happening yesterday down at UC San Diego. As the Tritons played host to Whittier, San Diego State taking on Wagner. Here are the results as we take a look towards the weekend. Play-in game action at UC San Diego, and first up, San Diego State taking on Wagner, and the Aztecs got off to a hot start. They opened up a 3-0 lead thanks to goals like this from McKenna Magro. After that, Nicole Ferrari, one of the best names in the game, scoring one of her 2 goals on the day. Wagner, the champs of the MAC from Staten Island, New York, trying to rally back. Jess Lundgren with a lob shot here in the second, but not enough. And Rachel Mitchell, the Golden Coast Conference Tournament MVP, a wall in the net. She has 11 saves to lead the Aztecs to victory 7-4. They advance to the final 8 where they will meet USC on Friday. Also at UC San Diego, the Tritons themselves taking on Whittier. They would hold off a late rally from the Poets, winning 11-7. Laurel Kistler and Julia Kirkland with 3 goals each. Courtney Miller, 12 saves in the net. Tritons will take on UCLA in our first game on Friday. Here's the schedule of the final 8. UCLA, the home team, will start things off against the Tritons, then Stanford, UC Santa Barbara, USC, San Diego State, and then perhaps the game of the day, Michigan and Arizona State, closing things out at 5:15 local time. You can watch all the action live on NCAA.com. Now we look to high school water polo, and the state of Hawaii had their girls' high school state championship this past weekend, where Punahou School did it again. They beat KS Kapalama 9-1 for their 9th straight championship, a dynasty there for head coach Ken Smith. And take a look at the picture here, but hang on, this does not look like your average high school state championship picture. Let's enhance. They are wearing candy. Why don't more championships involve gifts? We're talking about gummy bears. There looks to be some other treats here. I like what they're doing out in Hawaii. For me, I'd be all about maybe like one of those King's Hawaiian rolls. Just throw that on a lei around the neck. We're all about it. Congrats to Punahou. Emilia Eichelberger named MVP. Now from the pool to the classroom, where academic All-American applications are being accepted at usawaterpolo.org. Make sure you visit the site, find out all the details. We're looking forward to honoring you, the best in the classroom and in the pool, for the 2015-2016 school year. Speaking of 2016, the JOs are on the way. The world's largest water polo tournament is coming up, and we are under 100 days to go for the big event this summer in Northern California. With that in mind, we're looking forward to telling your story in video and article format. We want to hear about a great story you have. Maybe it's the first time your club is going to JOs, a great athlete on your club, something cool about your coach. Maybe you guys do a fun travel routine to get to JOs. Let us know. Send an email to media@usawaterpolo.org. We'll get back in touch with you and figure out a way to tell your story this summer at JOs. And now we head east to the state of Ohio, where Olympian Janai Kurt was on hand to give a clinic and tell everyone more about the great game of water polo. WLWT Channel 5 News was there to cover Kerr's visit.
And this weekend, Kerr's hosting a water polo camp at Princeton High School. He started out with football in high school, but discovered water polo and says he never looked back. Now he says he hopes to inspire a younger generation.
I wish that some of our best athletes joined at a younger age. You know, look at all the professional sports, baseball, basketball, football. You know, on the women's side, you have beach volleyball players. But I think if we kind of retain some of those athletes, not just the best swimmers, into the sport, you'll see phenomenal growth in the U.S.
And now we finish off with a public service announcement. Last week we showed you this video, a fun opening sprint from a game that was already decided during the Texas High School State Championship. It wasn't for first place or for third place, a lopsided affair, and it ended up in a game of rock, paper, scissors to decide the opening sprint. Fun times had by all. Most of you loved it. It was one of the most highly viewed videos we've ever posted to our Facebook page. But one request. Can we move past the whole California versus the rest of the country and the idea that Californians can talk down about water polo everywhere else? We're not talking about everybody, just a couple of people that feel comfortable comparing their Junior Olympics record or some other result from something that happened in California. It's a bad look all the way around. We should be encouraging people to play the game elsewhere so that it grows competition for water polo all across the country. That should be the focus, not trying to tear someone else down. And now we finish off with our social media send-off, sharing the best of what you have from the internet. And spoiler alert, Flop Friday has a big presence this week. First things first, the women's national team came back with a Flop Friday from Colorado Springs that brought the running man and the Flop Friday together in a very happy marriage.
Happy Flop Friday from Team USA!
From there, we go to Clear Lake and Falcon Aquatics sharing perhaps the best Domino's-style Flop Friday we've ever seen. Everyone goes in right on time, one after another. From there, Loud and Claire on Twitter sharing this. First, the dance moves, such confidence from this girl on the near side before they all get into the water. We'd like to see that. Then to Metzili on Twitter. We got a little dab. We got all kinds of things going on here. A fun time had by everyone. We love the Flop Friday videos. Keep them coming. Use that hashtag Flop Friday and hashtag counterattack. From there, Olympic great Brenda Villa being recognized by Bossy. It's a Bay Area organization recognizing some of the greats in women's sports. Thanks to Tina PCA for sharing that. Then our friend Ian Supra, who passed away not too long ago. Great news here. He's going to be inducted into the Dr. Phillips High School Hall of Fame. Thanks to the Super Strong account for sharing that. And last, Tony Azevedo and figure skater Gracie Gold at the LA 2024 offices, both trying to mimic the logo. No offense, Tony. I think Gracie, the figure skater, has choreography down here. She has you beat by just a little bit, but good to see a couple of athletes getting together to support a potential Olympic bid in LA come 2024. So that's the best of what we saw on the internet this week. Looking forward to sharing more of it next week. Use the hashtag counterattack and tag us at USAWP on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That'll do it for this week's show. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, when you're on the counterattack, look weak side.